are live on ABC's KMET 1490 AM.com. Your number one spot right here for news and talk on the West Coast. I thank everyone for tuning in this morning. On the telephone line, I welcome to the program Louisiana-born and Texas-based blues rocker, guitarist, vocalist, songwriter. We welcome in Clay Melton. Clay, Brian, C., thanks for being on.
Hey, Ryan, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Sorry about that. We ran into some technical difficulties. So many people listening, Clay, might not be aware, but you're 27 years old and already have achieved worldwide recognition as a musician. Are you a bit amazed of what you've accomplished this far?
Definitely. I just was a kid playing guitar in the garage with my friends. Seems like yesterday. So it's a great feeling to be able to get to do music, as a passion and a living.
And looking back to that young boy, Clay Melton, it all started when your dad gave you his music collection, right?
Yeah, my first exposure to music was, my dad gave me a briefcase full of, 50 or so cassettes. Hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah, I could hear you. So it started when your dad gave you his music collection, right?
Yeah, that was my first chance to kind of sit with an album, and soak it all in.
Now, Clay, talking about your early achievements, your ability to play the guitar was recognized during the prestigious International Guitar Festival, naming you one of the top 10 guitar players in the state of Texas under the age of 20. How proud of you were you during that moment? It must have made you confident moving forward on your path.
It honestly made me feel like I need to practice. That's the thing about guitar that I just love. It's just a never-ending journey. You can't learn enough.
And you're known in the industry, Clay, to have unique songwriting abilities. And it comes to my mind. I wonder, how does the ability to write a song enter your thought process? Is it by imagining your past experiences, or do you have a specific formula when you write a song?
I think over the years, what I found is probably the best kind of supplier of inspiration is just trying to think about it all a lot less, get out of your own way type thing. Because an idea can come from anywhere. But when you try and whenever I've tried to do different, routines, finding what different ways to write, I always go back to just, I need a little bit of spontaneity, and that comes on writing, being able to chase different ideas,
Right. And, for any creative artist, I can imagine one of the tough questions that you must come to grips with. Not sure if this enters your thought process, but do you decipher on whether you should, produce or, your own work first, or try to get out there and go after a record deal?
I'm of the mind, I think, it's in the best interest of artists today to do as much as you can yourself. Not saying that you won't collaborate to create. It's all about working with other people and having a great team. But luckily today you can make a decent record, with minimal amount of gear. And I think just that idea of doing as much as you can, just going out and playing. I think the live aspect has always been the most important part, at least in my journey and experience, and has taught me the most and always informed whichever situation we found ourselves in, making the new record or whatnot.
Now, when I look at, reading your career, just so everyone can be aware, when was it that your first big break came about?
Our debut full-length album came out in 2017, and that was, the first full release under my name, and that album was a journey to make, but it did well on the Billboard charts, which was unexpected, and that's kind of been, something I've learned through the years. You really never know what song's going to do well, what song is going to do, what path your music's going to take once you release it, which makes you want to, work on it, even harder before you release it to the world.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the Burn the Ships, which climbed to number 5, that happened 2018, right?
Right after it was released, 2018.
Now, when you are producing or creating a song, how important is it for you to have a guitar solo, in your songs?
We talk about this different song. It's usually one of the last things I lay down in the tracking process, unless the guitar solo is part of more of a motif. It's got a lead line, but it's not important or unimportant to me. It's just kind of like it's what happens when we just start jamming in the room as the three-piece band that we are. Everybody kind of will pass it around, but my guitar is my first instrument and always was. I was definitely not a born singer and had to work at it for many years. So it seems just like, it's where all my vocabulary is.
Yeah, and then February of this year, you released a new single called Alive on Wire. And we're going to play a little bit of that. We have a little bit of a mix. Talk about Alive on Wire, how that came about.
We wrote this song at the end of our 2022 summer tour where we were supporting a band out in New York City, Des Rocks, and then the Bluestones out of Canada. And it was a real fun tour. We were the support band, so our job was to burn it down real quick, and get the crowd ready at the beginning of the shows. And man, I think because the tour went so smoothly, no flat tires, no one got any bar fights, nothing crazy. It was just a lot of fun. So we came off that tour just kind of feeling like a whirlwind, which the song is just kind of about, just the go, next show, type thing, just being on the road.
And that happened in February. It was released Alive on Wire. And then April, you had a follow-up, right, called Runner.
Yeah, Runner's been through a whole journey.
So what we're going to do is we have a little mix. We'll play it now for the audience. Let's play Clay Melton's new release.
Baby, I'm a runner.
Just heard a sample of Alive on Wire and Runner by Clay Melton. With us is Clay Melton. You're the man, Clay. Good stuff. Where can the audience pick that up?
All of our music is online at claymelton.com and all of our 2023 tour dates. And then it's just Clay Melton Music on social media.
Now, I read that, I don't know if you heard this. Some people compare you to like an early John Mayer. Have you heard that?
Sure. I definitely listened to enough.
What's your feelings about that?
I think comparisons is just, when we're on the road, you get a different one every night. And it's just a way somebody's trying to relate what they've heard to, it's just a way to kind of connect the dots. But, I definitely take it as a compliment. I think he's a great guitarist, and what something I've always liked about John Mayer is he's always kind of exemplified parts of guitar playing that I gravitate toward, just personally. But he really knows how to wrap it in a well-arranged pop song.
So since we're on that topic, talk about some of the people that inspired you. I know you're a big Stevie Wonder fan, right?
Oh yeah, Stevie Wonder, man. I mean, who's not? For me, it was hearing Hendrix, like a lot of guitar players.
And for your fans listening, Clay, what if there's one message you would give to your fans, what would it be?
Go see some live music. It supports the artist. It's good for the soul. I think it's the most fun I ever have. And so if you're around anywhere, we're on the road this year, come out and see the Rock Show.
And just a couple of more questions. I mean, you're already establishing yourself as a rising star. I mean, you've opened up for, legendary artists like Grand Funk Railroad, Kool and the Gang, Sir Earl, Toon. How was your experience with that?
Oh man, anytime that crazy. It's wild. Again, like I said just yesterday, it feels like you're playing in the garage with your friends. But anytime we've played with, those guys I consider legends, you just learn so much watching the way they do what they do and watch the way they interact with the crowd, and just, they're just professional, and it's always a cool experience.
And what do you feel about, how do you feel about the internet? How has that impacted your business, your music?
No, it's a necessary evil. It's also, to me, as far as social media goes, it's nothing to ignore. But I always tell musicians and fellow artists and stuff, just stick to the fundamentals of being a band. Go out and play a show, or get in the van, get on the road, and I still think that's what it's all about. It's all about the music,
And Clay, it's always interesting for me to hear. I mean, if you can change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Gatekeeping, monopolies, just a little bit more of a level playing field.
Yeah, and I've had artists on this program, and they say that the business has totally changed. All these producers and these business owners are looking for that hit, that one hit. They don't want to make a long album anymore. They're looking for that one hit. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's a riskier investment, and I think people are a lot less interested in I think supporting creativity rather than cashing in, which is fine. But that's why I encourage artists to do as much as they can themselves. Build you a team of your friends and people you trust, and get out there and do it for yourself. It's very freeing,
There you have it. So we'll mention your website, claymelton.com. Final words for the audience, Clay.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and like I said, hope to see y'all on the road this summer.
Thanks a lot. Hey, good luck to you, and we'll mention your website again.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good one.
And I'm sorry we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Hopefully next week will be better. Until next week, happy collecting to all.